Have you heard of virtual kidnapping yet?
Virtual kidnapping.
Yes. Yeah.
Huh.
No, it
No.
sounds
This is like
right.
somebody
So,
takes your World of Warcraft account hostage or
That's
something.
right. Steals
not
your
as
sheep.
bad. Not as bad. Let me just quick share. All right. Okay.
How about if you virtually kidnap me and we'll get some fucking ransom for me?
Right. Well, here's so virtual kidnapping is something that's happening, and it's happening starting to be at scale, especially as AI technology becomes more more available to these guys.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, I've heard of this. Yeah.
yeah. So literally, what they do is they'll call you and create like, hey, we've got your daughter, we've got your mom, we've got this, demanding money, and then they'll use AI to replicate their voice. So, now you're getting proof of life on the phone that is, like, yeah, holy shit. They would totally get my mom on this, right? I mean, I just had something where it was they were told me I missed I missed jury duty.
Yep.
And, they wanted my credit card information. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like for what? We're sending a bench warrant after your arrest. I'm like, it doesn't work like that. I go, but by the way, I'm calling one of my 5 lawyer friends just to make sure. Because what happened was when I called back, it was like it sounded legit like the sheriff's department. It was the area code and stuff like that. So then, my buddy's like, hey, idiot, the federal, they happen down in Trenton, so you're going to be called from that, and that's a different area code, right? So it would be handled by the county and all this other stuff. So anyway, so how this works, how virtual kidnapping works, is that they target you. They put together some type of scenario where we've got your daughter, and we need X amount of money. So, I mean, they're saying like, oh, there's it'll be coming from, sometimes if it's an unknown number, or coming from Mexico, Puerto Rico, or 787-939 or 856, which is actually a New Jersey area code, by the way. So the first thing I did with my kids, and I'm gonna do this with my mom, is just be like, look, if you get some random text from me, because look, my kids have a tendency to blow me off. When I text or call, they'll wait like, dad, pain in the ass. So I'm just like, I'm going to text them and say, it's important you respond now. Are you okay? And that's it. Right. So if I don't get a response within 2 minutes, I'm going to be calling, a friend. I'm going to be calling you. I'm going to start reaching out to people to verify that you're okay. So don't keep me hanging. And
sorry, did you just say that was a New Jersey?
856, I think, was a New Jersey area code.
So now we know. Now we know what that woman in the $3 million home does.
Right. Right.
Now we know. Right. She's running a virtual kidnapping ring.
I'll be honest. She probably has her name on the house, but that's probably not who owns the house. I don't know. It just seems like, you could put somebody with a clean record on, have them buy the house for cash, and then that's the figurehead, because she's like 38 years old, which is, look, it's not impossible. I know guys that are, but when I Google their name, I can find them in like, executive vice president, or, owning this company. You could find somebody.
Yeah, started this company, etc.
Yeah, I mean, you could even like a basic Zoom info shit. So if they're corporate, you're going to be able to find them. So
I will say it's scary how brilliant of a scam this actually is, though. Like, holy shit!
Yeah, I mean, you hear your daughter on the phone. I mean, and it's happening to like, I don't want to say nobodies, but nobodies. I mean, people are just collecting this information and throwing it out there. And if they get
who's going to take the time to think rationally, right? I mean, the fucking stress level. I mean, if you heard your fucking daughter like a shrieking, crying fucking voice talking about being kidnapped or something, I mean, it's going to take a while for you to get rational and shit.
Yeah, exactly. So, be aware of this, and set something up with your family, where it's like, just like we do in Family Safe. It's like you set up the safe word, do same thing with them, set up something so you can quick verify and let them know that this is happening. So if I'm constantly calling you and I'm insane, pick up the phone anyway, because it could be obviously an emergency, but even something like this where I need to know it's not me calling you to tell you to clean your room. It's me calling you to make sure that you're actually alive. So,
wow.
Anyway, so yeah. So we got a couple of shit we want to break down.
Wait, before we do that, can I say something?
Yes, please.
Okay, so it is self-defense related, at least what we do here on the podcast.
Nice.
But anyway, so a couple of months ago, my youngest daughter, she decided she wanted to do a self-defense class for her church youth group.
Oh, nice.
And I'm like, oh, you want me to help you? And she's like, no. And I'm like, okay.
Oh,
all right, you do you.
Welcome to my world, by the way. But yeah,
that's right. Sorry, you just don't measure up.
And so I'm like, okay, cool, so because she's been helping out like at the jujitsu classes and stuff like that, and
sure.
I'm like, cool, you do you. And so then so by the way, she and my oldest got their certified instructor certifications for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh wow, okay, cool.
Yeah, they're like junior instructors or something like that. I don't know how it works, but anyways, but they had to go through training and certification, and they had to go through training, certification, et cetera, like through the official, international BJJ association or whatever.
Right.
But anyways, so then the self-defense is happening yesterday, and in the morning she's like going over like, what does she want to teach and this and that, and then she finally goes, hey Dad, what do you think I should teach for this scenario? And I'm like, I don't know, teach whatever you want, and then she's like, well, there's like 5 different things I could show them, and I'm like, okay, well, let's go through all 5 of them. And so then she like starts talking about them, and I'm like, okay, well, let me ask you a question, and I'm like, would that work against somebody a lot stronger than you? And she's like, well, no. I'm like, would that work against somebody a little bit more trained? And she's like, well, no. I'm like, okay. And then she's like, well, what would you do? Right. And so then I'm like, well, let me show you what I would do. Right. And so I show her, and she's like, well, that is so much more simple. Why don't we just do that? And I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
And so then she's like, okay, well, what about this scenario? Right. And I'm like, okay, well, what would you teach? And so she like kind of goes over it, and I'm like, ask her the same kinds of questions. And she's like, well, no, that won't work. She's like, well, what would you do? And I'm like, well, why don't you try this? And she's like, that makes total sense. Like, why don't we just do that? And I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
And so we go through this process for like 3 or 4 different things.
But that's how it works, is because it's like, you got to wait till they come to you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It doesn't, like, I'll be like, oh, let's go out in the bar. Let's like, fuck you. But then when they're like, hey, Dad, I'm like, and just like you did, which is perfect. And that's like the blueprint for it, where it's like, well, okay, what would you do? Okay, well, and then you go through the progression that you just did, which is beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah. And so then she goes, well, do you want to help me teach the class? Forgetting that 2 months ago I had offered.
Yeah, of course. Right.
And I'm like, sure, but this is your class. I'm like, I'm just there to help you. Right. This is your class. And she's like, okay, But yeah, it was great. I'm so proud.
Class happen?
So we got to the building, and they had just shampooed all the carpets, and so they're like, we're gonna have to postpone it.
Oh. Foiled. And this is why 5 kids in Central Texas got kidnapped last week.